my beautiful bunnies, and welcome back to another video. My name is Divine Oval and I'm here once or twice a week. Now today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to draw a man, specifically a man with flowers in his head. But I just wanted to say I'm so sorry for not posting, and it's completely my fault because I've just been lazy. Like, I literally have nothing to do. Because of Corona, I've just been lazy this entire time. I could have been doing videos and being productive, but I haven't been, and I apologize. I tried to make this video shorter, so it does go a bit fast, so pause or rewind if you need to. But anyways, let's get into the video. First, we're going to start off by drawing a circle, sketching a circle. And don't do this too harshly, or you're going to end up seeing it in your drawing, which you don't want to see, because we're going to end up erasing this. This is just for guidelines on drawing the head of the character. Now we're drawing two lines, and the first line that is vertical shows where the character is facing, and the second line is for where the eyes are going to be. Well, that's at least how I do it and how I use it. I don't know how other artists use it, but that's how I use it. It helps me a lot too. So using the circle as a tool, we are going to sculpt out the head shape. Now I wanted to make this head very masculine, have a very strong jawline. Which is also happens to be like sort of anime or manga looking, but it's not, you'll see. So I drew a brow and two lines which will represent the eyes and the eyelid. But the brow, you don't have to draw it, but I highly recommend you draw the brow now, just so you know where it is. But I will end up erasing and redrawing this brow, so it's not necessary, but I highly recommend it because that helps me know where to draw the eyes because I know where the brow is. At this point, I thinned out the brow by erasing some of it, and I redrew it like I said I would. But once again, I do make adjustments on this brow because for some reason I just didn't like the way it looked. With this character, I connected the nose to the brow and I drew a little arc, and you're gonna need that arc, so draw it too. But now we are drawing a sort of like shaded eyelash kind of thing, and it really brings the look together. So this is where I begin to shape the nose and do the bridge of the nose. I'm not gonna lie, me drawing this nose, what nose I wanted to do, like the type of nose I wanted to do, I spent so much time on it, but I ended up settling on a sort of large nose, large nostrils. And I actually like this nose on this person because I think it looks so cool. But if you need to pause here because I know I skipped the whole part on like drawing the nostrils and stuff, go ahead. I apologize. Like I said, I wanted to make this video as short as possible. Shading for this character is very crucial. I think the shading just brings this character together as a person. And now I'm gonna begin on shading the nose. The nose shading is not hard, but one tip you'll see me do in this video a lot is I rub my finger on the paper, and that will work as a smudge, and it will give you a clean shading process. Or you can use a smudge. I just decided not to. I gave this character a thin mustache, and it is crooked in the beginning, but I end up fixing it, so sorry for the people who don't like that kind of thing. But now I'm starting to draw the lips, and I also extend his head a bit. And you probably wouldn't even notice if I didn't tell you, but I do extend his head a bit so his lips aren't so close to his chin. But yeah. So I add a shadow under his lip, and I drew this like chin that I ended up erasing. So to save the trouble, don't draw the chin unless you like the chin. But like I said, I realized everything was a bit too close together and too close to the chin, so I ended up extending his head, making it longer. And I also gave him sort of like a goatee beard kind of thing that I ended up fixing. This was just a sketch at the beginning, but I really like the beard. Now I will begin shading on his head, on his face, I meant to say, and I will also start drawing like the sides, like the sides of your hair. I start drawing that on him. That's what I'm doing right now on both sides. And I will also start drawing a neck, and the neck will also be shaded. I sort of shaded his neck lazily, but it still came out good, so it was a win-win for me. And I outlined his head, and I also fixed the eyebrows and gave him a cat scratch because I thought that would look cool on him. I learned a new trick on drawing ears, and I decided this was a perfect opportunity to test that trick out, and it actually worked pretty well. At first I was like, no, but it sort of grew on me now that when I started like shading, and when I did the other ear was way better than the ear I'm doing now, so stay tuned for that. But now I will get started on his hair, and I decided I wanted to put flowers in his hair. So it was a long struggle trying to draw those, but I ended up doing pretty good. I struggled on the petals a bit, so I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. All I knew was that I wanted him to have flowers in his hair. That's all I knew, so it gets better, but right now it will look a little rough. Let's just ignore my inability to draw flowers nice. I used to be able to, but not anymore. But now I'm outlining and coloring in the sides of his hair, and I was pretty set on the fact that I wanted his hair to be curly from the beginning, but I drew another flower. It did not look good. This is probably the worst flower. And I did draw another one that went onto his face. But I tried to clean it up a bit because even at the time I knew that I could probably do better. But it just didn't happen, guys. It didn't happen. I drew 2 circles on his face, and that was just to make it look cute. But I started on the other eyebrow, and then I also started on the other flower. And this is the last flower because I didn't want to fill his hair with flowers, but I wanted a few to be in there because I thought it'd be cute. I think I did okay on this flower. But how I drew the flowers, I sort of just drew a circle, put a bunch of lines in the circle to sort of like color it in. And for the petals, I drew teardrop-like shapes. Well, I at least attempted to, so. Now on the petals, I drew 2 lines on each, and I sort of faded these out so you won't see them as much, but that's how the flowers are, so I just decided to do that also. And for curly hair, I basically just drew a bunch of squiggly lines to represent the curly hair and some flyaway. And at first I did not like the hair like at all, So I spent some time fiddling with this, but yeah. So I accidentally did his eye, the other eye off camera, and I think the eyebrow off camera too. But now I will start to do some more shading on the bridge of the nose and in between the eyebrows. I'm also starting on the lips, and like I said, what I just did, me rubbing my fingers on the paper, was to make the shading a bit smoother. So I highly recommend you do that. And I also highly recommend you shade lightly so you're able to do that, so you don't see as many lines that you use for shading. So now I'm going to do shading, and I'm going to draw some shading on the eyelids. So basically I darken the outer eyelid and leave the middle white to represent sort of a shine in between, and I really think it pulls the look together, so I highly recommend you do that too. The thing about shading is it's not hard at all, and it makes the character look way more realistic than it previously did. So now I'm just darkening around the face, and I also added shoulders to his neck. The other ear looks way better, but I ended up doing the original ear also. It made it look a bit better. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful at least a little bit. And you don't have to follow this exact character. You can honestly do your own thing with it. But yeah. Oh, and I added some shading on his upper lip. So I love you guys. Bye.